Hello everybody, this is Oliver Hines, aka Agonist from metalunderground.com, and I'm very honoured to say we're with Vicky Psarakis from the Agonist.
Hey.
How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for having me.
Anytime. Obviously, straight into it, the new album Orphans is out now, and you don't need me to tell you because everyone else has told you that it's a brilliant album. It really is fantastic. You're very welcome. Obviously, it's kind of born out of some difficult circumstances, which have been quite well documented. I know this time it was named Orphans. You wanted to name it after a song. I don't think the Agonist had done that before.
Exactly.
Yeah. As a album, how well do you think it represents each member of the band? Not necessarily like by one, but at this, it represents you as an artist at this stage in time.
I think it does, like 100% up until this point, you know, compared to anything else that we've ever done. It is a lot closer to the band's identity and what we want going forward, and also just playing wise, I feel like everyone stepped it up on this album. Everyone's kind of pushing their limits, and well, it's a combination of doing something that's comfortable and feels like at home, but then also pushing yourself, like technically speaking, or maybe speed wise for the drums or guitars, or then for me note wise, you know, there's a lot of experimenting there, but then there's a lot of comfortable moments too, so.
And there's the first one.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think everyone can hear how much everyone's put into this album as well, and that's possibly why it's really stands out as the best Agonist album yet, and not just in my opinion, but a lot of people would say that as well. What the most striking thing about it is that you've already done 4 videos for it, and every one of them has been very visual, very dramatic, shall we say. The most notable one for me is Gift of Silence, which is great. It's like Carrie just covered in blood.
Yeah.
But I was watching some of the others as well, and like in Vertigo, where you've got all like the dirt over you, and I'm really sorry, I can't remember the name of it right now, but you kind of be dragged.
Oh, it's When We Survive.
That's the one.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, there's some bloody ordeal you're going through to get all this.
Yes, but you know what? That's partially, like, it's in my character too, because I always think about the end result, and, you know, if I have to go through some kind of, you know, torture, so to speak, it's okay, because I know it's worth it, you know, in the end, like, to capture those visuals that you were talking about. Yeah,
I mean, like I said, everyone really does stand out, and like the visuals at least, and the music, of course, but even if I can't remember the song title.
No, it's okay. It's just, like, well, we're really lucky that our very own bassist, Chris Kells, does the videos.
Oh, okay.
So we're able to, you know, pop out more than a typical band that would have to hire a full team, you know. And we're also just, like, pushing ourselves with the ideas, and we're always like, yeah, we don't want to do a typical boring performance, you know, spice it up a little bit, so that's why you see what you see.
Yeah, it works. I've seen quite a few people pushing for, they want a video for Blood as My Guide.
Yes.
Because one, it's, on an album of highlights, it's a real highlight.
Thanks.
It's so kind of catchy, and it's great, you know, because it does sound very much like the Agonist, but I think it kind of has a tinge of old school, like Iron Maiden hanging up to it as well.
It does.
But when I saw these people saying, oh, I should do a video for this one now, I thought, she suffered enough. Just
that's funny. No, there have been discussions for, like, more videos, not just one, maybe even 2 in the future. We haven't filmed anything yet. Okay. But honestly, I don't know 100%. I'm one of the people pushing for Blood as My Guide to be a video too. Cool. We just haven't gotten the right idea for it yet. Like, what should the video be about, you know? But it might happen.
Cool.
Yeah.
Be a lot of happy YouTube commenters.
Absolutely.
Speaking of Blood as My Guide, I believe it's the first song you've done with the Agonist where you've used Greek vocals.
Yep.
And I'm a bit of, I don't even know if it's the right word, but a bit of a Hellenophile. I love it. I love anything Greek.
Cool.
That's why I buy everything Rotting Christ and Set Me Flesh forever.
Awesome.
So it was really interesting to hear that use of Greek vocals, and it's a language which I think it works quite well with metal.
It does.
As beautiful as it is,
Yeah.
it has a grit to it, if you like, which is because why I know this Blows My Guide was basically a song about war, and the initial spark was from like a Greek. I don't know if it was an epic poem or something like that. It was from a Greek mythology anyway. Had you always wanted to work Greek into the thing? No?
Not at all. No, it wasn't even like intentional. It was the rest of the song was written already lyrically and vocally, and then Simon, our drummer, actually wrote that song, and a couple weeks after, he's like, hey, I added this riff to it, you know, and then I was listening to the riff, and I told him, like, I want to, you know, I kind of want to sing in Greek, you know?
Yeah.
And he was like, do it, go ahead. And then I feel like it adds a little bit of the spiritual side to the repercussions of war lyrically, how, like, you know, a bunch of people die and all that stuff, and like their families are weeping for lost soldiers and all that. So I felt like that whole part, especially it being in Greek, actually adds to that spirituality a bit more than if it was just English, you know.
Yeah, I mean, anyone can kind of write a song that just goes, war is bad, but
War is bad, yes.
I first became aware of you just before you joined the Agonist through your YouTube channel.
Oh, cool.
I really like your YouTube channel because there's so many different variations and this kind of thing, and different kind of styles that you cover on there. If you haven't checked it out, do check out her channel because you won't believe how well she sings certain songs. Like, I probably listen to your Audio Slave cover more than I listen to the Audio Slave version, and I love that song anyway. But
yeah.
I know it's kind of a little bit old news now, but was the YouTube channel like, instrumental in you joining the Agonist? Okay.
Yes, that is how they found me.
Okay.
And that is partially why I started the YouTube channel. It was like a mix of, well, I'm practicing at home anyways, and I'm singing these songs anyways, I might as well record them and put them out there. And, you know, in the back of my head, I was like, maybe someone will notice me that way, you know? Which happened. I didn't expect it to happen. I didn't expect it to happen that fast. Like, I hadn't been doing covers all that long, maybe like a year and a half. But it did, and then I took a break, obviously, from doing covers for a long time, and now I'm back at it. But I do like doing covers. Like you said, there's a variety of styles and all that in there, and the reason I like doing it, first and foremost, is just like the practice for myself, for my vocals. Like when you tackle something that's so out of your element and you're like, okay, how can I make it sound like me, but also, you know, not change it entirely, make it a different song or whatever. Just finding that balance, you know. Give it justice, but also put a little bit of myself in it.
Absolutely. I think that's the mark of any good cover, if you like, is when you hear an artistic spin on it, even if it is like there's a music spin, but you can hear your own thing. Like your cover of Dream On, for example. That's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Something we talk about maybe a little bit less nowadays, which is a good thing, I think, is the role of women in metal. I think at the moment a lot of the best metal music coming out is either by bands with female vocalists or they're all female. There are bands like Burning Witches, Nervosa, Mjörka, all these fantastic female metal artists, and I think it's getting to a point now where it's almost, it just is, you know what I mean? People don't really go, oh, female fronted or something like that. I mean, I'm sure that's still there, but would you agree that it's, that barrier has kind of been broken a little bit now where?
Maybe. I don't know if it's been broken.
Fractured maybe.
Hopefully. I mean, for myself it never really did matter, you know, like I did listen, as a fan, I did listen to some female-fronted bands, and then there were others that I just couldn't get into. But then you do see the occasional fan that loves all female-fronted bands. Like, it doesn't matter. Maybe they just love the sound of a female, you know, feminine voice. But for myself, because, you know, there were some I enjoyed, some I didn't enjoy, and then the same with male-fronted bands, some I like, some I don't like, you know, so to me it was always just music. It didn't really matter, and I think the thing also that, like, a lot of people were kind of portraying it as a new thing, but, like, there have been females in rock since forever, you know.
Going back to Sister Rosetta Tharpe.
Yeah, just like Doro and Lita Ford and all these amazing, amazing musicians. And so yeah, for myself, it never really was an issue. It's like, you just get into music because you like it and you're good at it, and that's all that matters. But yeah, it is there. Maybe it is kind of going away. I don't know, because I'm not, you know, going online and searching all the time. But hopefully one day it can reach a point where, like, it doesn't really matter, you know.
I mean, for example, with other, like painting, for example, you don't go, oh, Frida Kahlo, the female artist, artist.
Yes.
So it's I think we're getting to that point now. It's very simple. I can move back if you want me to.
Oh, I think
It's all right, don't worry.
it's the craziest, coolest interview ever. People coming in, coming out. Yeah.
Weird enough that it's on the bloody boat.
No, I think just because the genre, there's less females in there than males.
Yeah.
And I think that's always what it's going to be like. If for metal, I don't think it's ever going to be 50-50.
No.
Whereas, you know, other genres like pop or jazz or blues, women have been around for so long, and a lot of women dominating those worlds, so that's why in those genres you don't see people like, oh, this female pop singer, like, just a pop singer, because there's so many females doing it. Yeah.
As I mentioned briefly there during the Stampede, it's crazy enough we're filming this on a boat. And speaking of boats, next month you're on 70,000 Tons of Metal.
Yes, that's awesome.
I'll be there as well. I'm looking forward to it.
Cool.
Have you played there before?
No, first time.
Have you done a cruise before?
No.
First time.
Yes.
You're going to love it, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
Just to finish off then, what's the plans for next year? I'll spare you the 2020 vision joke.
Yes. So there's the cruise, and then we have a North American tour with Flesh God Apocalypse in March, April. And then we're coming back to Europe in the summer to do some festivals, maybe some dates in between. It's not solidified yet. Like, some of the festivals have been announced. Like, we just announced Brutal Assault yesterday, so that was cool. And then after the summer, don't really know yet. You know, maybe film more music videos, maybe write more music. It's all up in the air right now.
Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me, Vicky. I really do appreciate
my pleasure.
it.
Thanks. Nice meeting you. And